wanted to find a new path for myself. And I came across a humanitarian trip that was happening and ended up in Mexico City, one of the biggest cities in the world. And one day I was in a dump site where 50,000 kids were living. When I saw those kids, I did have an emotion. I felt ashamed where I saw kids. I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I didn't know how I was going to do that, but it was the beginning of something. In 1991, I went to a humanitarian conference in Vancouver, and on that specific day, there was 10,000 people listening to that woman in the front. I wanted to share with her what I was doing. So I followed that person, and then she looked at me and said, no, tell me what you're doing at home. You know, I'm not doing anything. And she looked at me very direct and said, it's strange because I always thought it was impossible to have a vision for the world if you don't have a vision for your own. And she turned around and left. And the next day I was taking the plane back home, and I was so pissed off at her because obviously the truth was seeking, and somehow I already knew that she was right. So the next day I met with few people who were used to travel with me. Judith was one of them, the co-founder of Breakfast Club. And I said, we need to work to do something at home. And so we decided on that day, November 1st, 1994, that we were going to feed kids in a public school called Lionel Groux, South Shore of Montreal. When it makes sense in the mind of people, they would give. And they understood the vision because the vision was very simple. The vision was feeding kids in order for them to break the circle of poverty and keeping the dream of every single kid alive. This is incredible because there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of kids now that have been fed over the years that are now, getting back to us and giving us their own personal story, and that's incredible. That's precious, and that's what it's all about.